Stavros Tousios for M4Markets. We're going to look at pound and also oil today, the only two assets that seem to be moving. Now, on the pound, we've talked about that potential move to the upside, okay? But we also did note that that looks quite corrective. This reminds a wedge, whereas this move to the upside, if included as well, looks like a correction that has come actually and corrected quite a bit. That also brings into our view or into our watch list of potential patterns a triangle. But obviously triangle having 5 structures internally, and this so far we have 2 structures. It's far from being confirmed. Okay, what we do see, however, is that we are heading towards that top line. We have already rejected once, and instead of falling from here, we're having another attempt. Now, it's either a case where it's going to be a weak attempt and we might just continue following from here to the downside, with, of course, the break of 123 being a very important level, or an event. Or instead, we might just see that continue higher and have an attempt for a new high. Pretty much, that would be the case. Now, this, mind you, if we do something like this, we'll go up, it could potentially also end up being a copper handle, which means we would be due further upside if this scenario plays out. I am also seeing some sort of flatness on the RSI and prices moving up. And that suggests there is some sort of divergence between prices and momentum. But as long as we can even pull a trend line over here above that trend line, then we are more likely to see a little bit more upside rather than more downside. Now, if we lose, of course, the 50 RSI, that is going to change the situation, which I guess is going to be around the previous low as well at 124.84. Now, looking at the oil markets, well, it has been consolidating, okay, because you see the RSI and also the it's kind of converging, and what we do see now is following that breakout of this, you can call it a flag pattern, we see a new oversold point being reached also with momentum on the RSI. This suggests that we have a breakout of that trend, okay, which typically ends up being, a further continuation to the downside towards the previous low, which is around 63.70. Now, there is potential for a respite or a reversal, because at the same time, while we do have that new low, it's a new low, which means literally if this is a correction, we finished with a correction and we will continue higher. Now, there is 2 scenarios we can look as we do typically. One is we come here, we see what happens in this area and whether we go up for the previous top, perhaps even maybe up to the middle first, or we go down with, kind of second target. First target would be around the high activity level around 66, with second target around 63.60. So my my thinking is that this still remains in a large sort of consolidation here, guys. Okay, yes, we have a new low, but this is a double bottom. And we had 3 attempts to the upside. Here, yes, each one a little bit higher, and then we came all the way down here. So maybe this continues. But what I am saying is that since we're at the bottom of a range, someone or some of the traders would potentially look at this as an opportunity to the upside. Okay, but as I said before, it is important that we also draw a trend line over here. And we assess the situation based on what happens around that level, as we still remain in oversold territory. The chances for upside, for some short-term upside, are good. However, what happens here is going to determine what happens in the medium term and beyond.